Like all the videos on Saigancat's channel are made possible by fans like you.
Hello everybody, Saigancat is back with more of the Dragon Quest VII live-streamed Let's Play. I'm sorry about that extended break. It is apparently pure chaos here this morning. Because I'm streaming. That's how it becomes pure chaos, because I'm trying to do something. Can I not sit in the throne? Aw. Well, that's useful. Everyone's asleep. And blinded. It's alright. It's alright. I've got this. Well, I guess Maribel can wake up and explode things. That's fine too, I guess. Not seeing anything of great import here. Oh, there's a way in there! There's a way in there. Okay. Don't! That should be game. Yup. This place is a wreck, but does that mean that someone wrecked it, I wonder? Maribel. Great Detective Maribel. No monsters inside. That's curious. It's a mystery. Yeah, I can easily see how those vials could lead to some party wipes. Snoozing the wrong character at the wrong time will do that. Is there any cause for me being in here? What are these dark stains on the floor? I don't know. Surely something happened here. The Great Spirits. The Great Spirit of the Earth watches over all who dwell in the desert. The benign presence brings peace and security and causes the waters to spring from the sand. We peoples of the arid plains must never forget to whom we owe our lives. Excuse me, taking a sip of water. The Saga of the True Hero. Ever since the world was brought into being, countless heroes have taken sword in hand and stepped into the fray. But there was one who towered above all others in terms of strength, wisdom, and honor. The name of that mighty hero was Sir Melvin, and his name was known in every corner of every land. Mervin, I guess they're calling him now. pile of broken bones covered in mud. Curious. The spot on the floor has me confused. Broken bones covered in mud. Oh, something's happening. You there! Stop where you stand! What? Oh, I thought you were grave robbers. Clearly I was mistaken. So, strangers, who are you? Are you travelers, perhaps? I see. Now you must listen. This place is a graveyard for we desert dwellers, forsaken by our queen. Every evening, monsters come here to loot and despoil the graves. I have taken it upon myself to keep them at bay. And you are obstructing my work! You must leave this place and never return. There's a village southeast of here. My name is Hadid. Inform the local people of this encounter, and you shall surely be welcome there. Okay. Queen Fertiti, how could you flee and abandon your subjects to their fate? All right. I guess we'll head back to that village now. The cheek of that man. How could he even think I was a grave robber? You maybe, but me never. Maribel. She is insufferable. The first step on the path of virtue requires strength of character. Strength of character comes only from kindness. The path of virtue leads next to a long life filled with wisdom, but no matter how long a man's life, it cannot go on forever. Which is why the path of virtue leads in the end to heaven, and the paradise which awaits the pious man. And for those who have followed the path correctly, it continues beyond heaven, on into rebirth, where it begins anew. Alright, back over to the village. We cannot go on like this. Something must be done. Wait, do not be so rash. You cannot venture into the desert alone, not in your current condition. Queen Fertiti, I, your humble servant, shall give my life to save you from the monsters. Humph, who are you? What is this you say? One by the name of Hadid told you of our village? Very well, then you had better enter. Please, talk to Elder Khalid should you wish to spend the night here. I sense a curious light coming from you. Please excuse me, you need not respond to such inappropriate remarks. Now, on to more important matters. Oh, we can save with you! Ever since the skies grew dark, the once bounteous river Nihil has produced no fish. The village's remaining food supplies are kept in this storeroom. No one may enter or approach without the Elder's permission. That's probably where this stupid fragment is. Great Spirit, please. The monsters come once more. Everyone is dying. Ugh. Life has become a living nightmare for we desert dwellers. The temple palace has fallen to the monsters, and as if that were not enough, the fiends have taken our queen from us. I am under no illusions. I remain here only on account of my injuries. If I were able to work, I would have long since been enslaved, or worse. Do you not sell? I guess the item shop doesn't sell items. Curious. The skies above are so very dark. The sun has not shone upon the desert for days. These surely are signs of the wrath of heaven. And we are helpless in the face of this wrath. We cannot protect our queen or the great temple palace. All we can do is hide away in our burrows. Our queen is dead, and the young men of LBRY have been enslaved. They are forced to construct a likeness of a terrible monster. How can the spirit of the land and the powers of heaven stand idly by and allow this to happen? Why do they not come to our aid? Have they forsaken us? Truly, I did not expect to receive visitors at a time such as this. You say that a man you met at the temple palace told you of our village. Cough, cough. Please excuse me, my health has deteriorated a great deal as of late. Still, I must not complain. I am greatly privileged to remain alive. The news that there are monsters in the temple palace is terribly distressing. However, cough, cough, cough. Now you must be fatigued following your journey. Please, you must spend the night at my house. The room of my son is on the second level. It is unoccupied at present. Elder son left the village and hasn't returned. Good morning. I trust you had a restful sleep. Elder Khalid wishes to speak with you. He awaits you downstairs. Mumbling old lady. Hadid? Oh, I must have fallen asleep. I dreamt of my boy, Hadid. I do apologize. I should have greeted you right away, but my body often refuses to cooperate with me of late. There don't seem to be any particularly interesting books. Ah, you have awoken, I see. I trust that you enjoyed a restful sleep. Now, you have observed the situation outside the village for yourselves. We desert dwellers have been besieged by monsters for some time. It all began when we commenced the construction of a great likeness of the spirit of the land. That is what drew their attention. Upon pain of death, they demanded that we build a likeness of the great evil instead. We had no choice but to obey. What is more, they demanded that we relinquish one young maiden from the village into their clutches each year. Her Majesty, Queen Fertiti, went to the monsters and offered herself instead. Alas, we have not heard from her since. Not long after her departure, the skies grew dark and the sun ceased to shine upon the sands. Queen Fertiti's temple palace lies abandoned and blighted, and within it, monsters toy with the corpses of their victims. What is more, there is no one remaining in LBRY who is capable of driving the monsters away. It is a terrible situation. You would do well to leave this desert, never to return. Children such as yourselves cannot hope to defy the monsters who torment us. Be sure to avoid the temple palace if you value your lives. Sounds to me like we've got a job to do. Roll out. And saving. The urn in the center of the village was what keeps the monsters at bay. It's said to have been imbued with the powers of the spirit of the land himself. We would be lost without it. After all, there are precious few young men left here to defend us. Why is there screaming going on upstairs? There's no peace in this house on my days off anymore. Yeah, I'm not really rushing through the game either, Sadie. I'm just kind of enjoying it as I go. Which reminds me, I have a traveler's tablet that's probably safe for me to visit. Does this not go anywhere? This does not appear to go anywhere. We might have to come back here later. Let's head north past the castle. The monsters in the Temple Palace shouldn't be any match for us, but that doesn't mean you can let your guard down. If something unforeseen were to happen, you need to be ready to protect me. Let's finish looking up here in case there's treasure. There's no treasure. Doodle-doodle-doo. Doodle-doodle-doo. I guess we'll go back to Temple Palace? Wants me to protect her. Gasp! A monster! Is it just this feeling in my bones, or do I detect the stench of human blood? Go deal with this guy. Surprise! Ha! I didn't think there were any of you lot left. What a pleasant surprise. This should be a rib-tickling little experience. There's nothing better than having a real live human to toy with from time to time. You are mine now, foul beast. The acts you have perpetrated upon my brethren are unforgivable. I will not rest until you have been torn asunder. You, why have you returned here? I told you to never return to the Temple Palace. Well, well, it's clearly my lucky day. Just look at all these toys I've got to play with now. Come here, you lot. I've got a bone to pick with you. It's funny because he's a skeleton. As do I with you, repulsive creature. I suppose we must do battle alongside each other for now, travelers. Do not impede me, or you will be sorry. Why would we get in your way from fighting the monster? A skeleton squire appears. Ew. Kasap. Stop it! Oh, good, he's out of MP. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to do the download tablets yet, Sadie. Those ones are apparently designed for post-game, which I can agree with. They're pretty scary. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. All right, I think we're good to go. Let's just lay into him now. Perhaps I overestimated that guy. I thought he was going to be worse than he actually was. Wait, you don't have to lay these old bones to rest just yet. Trust me. Do not demean yourself by begging for mercy, worm. Do you truly think it will have any effect? Just listen for a minute. You recognize this necklace, don't you? That's right, it belonged to your queen. And I didn't have to bash her over the skull to get it either. She gave it to me of her own free will. Now, as I understand it, you desert dwellers have to do what the owner of the necklace tells you, so... Have you quite finished? Hey, wait, isn't there an ounce of mercy in that skeleton of yours? No! Pow! This necklace is an heirloom of our royal family. It is unthinkable that Queen Fertiti would willingly relinquish it to a filthy monster. You appear to be hurt. Allow me to administer to your wounds. Now, did you not hear me the first time I told you never to return to the Temple Palace? You must have sand between your ears. Outsiders such as you have no business meddling in desert affairs. Still, I'm grateful for your support in this battle. Come, let us return to the village. We will speak further there. This makes things most difficult. A violent sandstorm is raging outside. We have no choice but to wait for it to pass. Now, where would be the best place to seek out the storm? See out the storm. Here, in the temple? Ah yes, come, we must venture below ground. I assume you have nothing with which to occupy yourselves while we wait for the sandstorm to pass? Then please, you must assist me in digging these fresh graves. You wished to involve yourselves in our affairs, did you not? What better way than to sift through our very bones? It's a little dark. Poor Maribel. Put to work. Easy does it, girl. We don't want you crunching these bones into dust now, do we? Why am I the one digging these stupid graves, Isn't there something more ladylike I could be doing? You do not enjoy digging? Then perhaps you would prefer to carry the corpses instead. Fine. I'll get back on my knees in the dirt, shall I? So grumbly. You wanted to come on this adventure, Maribel. This is what you asked for. You know, it occurs to me that I have not yet asked your names. Now it occurs to you? Typical. Still, better late than never, I suppose. My name's Maribel. I'm Gabo. Nice to meet you. Saigan introduces himself and tells Hadid a little about himself and his friends. You say the journey that led you here was a long and arduous one, and that you have visited many other parts of the world, all of which are suffering at the hands of monsters, just as is happening here in my beloved desert? Interesting, but you must understand, our suffering has not been caused by monsters alone. Our queen must also bear responsibility. Indeed, you heard what the beast said about the necklace. Queen Fertiti must have given it to him in an attempt to barter for her life. Do you not see what this means? She has abandoned her subjects in order to save herself. But I'm too tired to speak of this now. We will talk more tomorrow. Rest your weary bodies. I will keep watch and ensure that you come to no harm. Having carefully laid all the bones to rest, the party settled down to get some sleep. Then, the next day, you have awoken, I see. Then I shall tell you the story of the Temple Palace. Not long ago, it was a magnificent edifice, towering tall and proud above the sands. Those same sands have always been home to monsters, but only in small numbers. Nevertheless, it was decided by the Queen that a great likeness of the spirit of the land must be built in order to intimidate those few monsters into leaving her domain. The men of Al-Balad toiled hard to produce this great edifice, but far from driving the fiends away, it drew the attention of their lord and master. The desert was flooded with monsters, and many of our people were lost in the fight to keep the great likeness from coming to harm in the onslaught that followed. And all this was for naught. There was not even a need to build it. We were more than capable of defending ourselves without this great extravagance. Now the Temple Palace lies in ruins, and countless of our brethren are dead, all thanks to the foolish whim of a ruler who would not listen to sense. Despite this travesty, I'm the only person in the village who's willing to speak out. Such injustice! In any case, the storm appears to have died down. I will return to Al-Balad. Meet me there. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It doesn't really bother me, but there's definitely a lot of back and forth in this game. Right into the monster. I learned a spell, and I wasn't paying attention to what it was. Come, I have waited for you long enough. Let us enter the village without further delay. Surely not. He lives! Master Hadid lives! Everyone, come quickly! Master Hadid is alive! Save. Saving often. Elder Khalid, Father, are you home? It is I, Hadid, who wish to speak with you. My dear boy, you were gone a long time, and yet the village has stood firm in your absence. We have suffered no casualties since you left. However, our situation remains dire. The skies above are dark. Queen Fertiti's whereabouts are unknown. We are consumed with anxiety. Indeed, you are our last and only hope. Please, tell me that you bring good news. Did you reach the banks of the Nihil? The Nile? It's the Nile. It's the Nile. Did you locate the serpent? With its assistance, perhaps we can rid ourselves of the monstrous scourge at last. I have yet to seek out the serpent. What? Father, I assume that you are aware of what the monsters have done to the Temple Palace. It has been utterly despoiled. Hey, Mizu, how are you doing? You seem to be having issues typing, Mizu. The fiends there had to be punished. Unfortunately, or fortunately, not unfortunately, the assistance of these travelers, I was able to do just that. We also dug fresh graves for those who perished there. They are now at peace. I see. We thank you for your support. Wait, there is more to tell. I found this in the possession of what appeared to be the leader of the monsters infesting the Temple Palace. Gasp. But this... Yes, it is the sacred heirloom of our royal family, passed down through generations to our current queen. She must have given it to the monsters in a pathetic attempt to spare her life. All the troubles that have befallen us are due to her foolishness and ill judgment. This is further proof of that. If she had only listened to me and abandoned the folly of constructing the great likeness, the monsters would never have focused their ire on our kingdom, our home. This necklace has been in the royal family for generations. It is the mark of the Queen of the Desert. How could Fertiti bring herself to place it in a monster's clutches? One who is capable of such an act is not worthy of being called queen. She is responsible for all our woes. Enough, Hadid. Mother, you do not look well. Does some ailment afflict you? Yes, my boy, the ailment of age. Even walking becomes troublesome as one grows older. Look at me, Hadid. I'm so terribly weak. Should monsters attack the village, I would have no hope of escape. It is in order to aid helpless people such as I that Queen Fertiti ordered the construction of the Great Likeness, so that even the weakest of her subjects might survive and thrive here in the sands of our home. How dare you speak ill of such a person? How, cough, dare you? My lady, please. Hadid, living in this world calls for strength of character, and strength of character can only come from a kind heart. You must never forget that. Never. I love. Yeah, those are all clean. There's... Yes, so they can also go in the blue bin. Sorry. The Great Likeness was constructed to protect the weak? Still, this does not explain why Queen Fertiti would barter for her life so pathetically. Chat says hi. Perry says hi. No, I cannot place my trust in her. You understand, do you not? After everything that has been said, you understand my position? Something is hidden here, secreted away beneath the gemstone. I cannot get it free. No, it is stuck fast. Perhaps one more try. There, I have it! I folded parchment that looks exactly like a letter. That's larger than the pendant itself. In the name of the sands, it's... What is it, Father? Father, please, you must speak. Tell us what is written on the parchment. By all that is sacred, please, heavenly powers, bestow your manifold protections upon Her Majesty, Queen Fertiti. Father! If you wish to know its contents, you must read it for yourself. My beloved subjects. Beloved indeed, how dare she? There's so many, like, jerk characters in this game. There's so many guys who just jump to conclusions instead of just, like, you know, talking about their problems. My beloved subjects, I pray that you are all safe and well. Rest assured that I have come to no harm. I do, however, have sad news to impart. The construction of the likeness of the great evil has been completed. Its completion is the reason why the skies have darkened, why Mother Nile runs high and angry. The monsters increase in number with each passing day. No doubt you are already finding it impossible to fish or to hunt. Hunger must be a daily reality for you, as it is for us. The enslaved men of LBRY are alive and well, but I know not what will become of them now that they have served their purpose, and I do not intend to wait to find out. I must uncover the secret of the likeness's dark power before those who trust in me can come to any further harm. If I can calm the waters of the Nile, the men will be free to make their escape. I have already bribed he who guards them, though the price was great. But although relinquishing such a sacred heirloom weighed heavily on my heart, it allowed me to secrete within it this letter to you. He to whom it was given often haunts the temple palace. I can only hope that one of you, my faithful subjects, will find him there, and in punishing him, find also my message. Your eternal servant, Queen for TT. Yeah, I bet you feel like a jerk now, Hadid. Father, I must leave at once. I must find the Serpent of the Nile and ride the river's waters to Her Majesty's aid. What's up, Orbo? Good morning. Yes, you must go. May the spirit of the land protect you. Thank you, Father. It seems the whole village has been eavesdropping on our discussion. How dare you! Move! Out of my way! Grumbly, grumbly, grumbly. That boy, he never rests. Now, I have not forgotten that you assisted in defeating the monsters who had been despoiling the temple palace. Those of our brethren who perished there will be able to rest in peace thanks to your efforts. We are in your debt. As a representative of the people of LBRY, allow me to present you with a small token of our gratitude. The Seal of the Sands. Sadie telling me that the upcoming dungeon is a good grinding place, both for money and for jobs. Good to hear it. The symbol means a great deal to we desert dwellers. Simply show it to any of our number, and they will be sure to assist you in any way that they are able. Allow me to offer the thanks of all our brothers and sisters in this world and the next. May the winds of the heavens blow ever in your favor. The thing for which you search is not to be found here. In fact, it is somewhere far, far away. We cannot hope to access this place, but you can. You shall go there, and you shall return to the desert. Doing so is the only way to shine the light of hope on the depths of our despair, but that is yet to come. For the present, let us return to the here and now. We need to go somewhere else? Did I miss something important? I might have missed something important. Let's flash that seal about a bit and see if anyone will tell us anything. If that doesn't work, we can go to the banks of the Nile and try and find this serpent they're all going on about. You've been gifted with the Seal of Sands, I see. I suppose I should tell you all I know of the great serpent of the Nile. According to the legends, a mighty serpent dwells in the depths of the Mother Nile. Its body is larger than the Elder's dwelling, and its head adorned with two gleaming golden horns. The dig site! The archaeological dig site! It is for this legendary beast that Master Hadid is currently searching. He has promised to find it, and with it, to save the desert. Every minute he spends outside the village is an anxious one for us, but we have faith. We believe he will succeed in his task. I did not think I would see it before the Bird of Paradise descended from the heavens to guide me homeward. You are unfamiliar with the Bird of Paradise? Perhaps it only exists in our desert mythologies. It is said that this wondrous creature appears before those who have followed the virtuous path and leads them to the next world. Those who have lived righteously will be guided by the bird, and only they. After all, only the virtuous may enter the kingdom above. Remember this, and resist the temptation to sin. Ah, you assisted with the digging of the graves in the temple palace, did you not? I'm afraid I have nothing but gratitude to offer you, however. I guess we're going to the River Nile. Let's be on our way. Even though that one guy told us that it was really far away. Interesting. We'll see how it goes. Here stands the gateway to the hollowed River Nile. This is the river where the serpent lives, right? Come on, Saigan, let's see if we can find it. What if I use the item? I feel a whole lot braver by looking at the Seal of the Sands. Is this one of those things where we have to, like, leave? The serpent's picked a fine time to go missing, hasn't he? Let's go over to the banks of the Nile. Perhaps we'll find some clue as to where he's disappeared to. No, God. Mashing A at the water's edge. I don't need no hints. Not yet. Not yet. I'll ask if I need one. Old man standing by the enormous urn in the middle of LBRY makes a prophecy for the party. He tells them the thing they're looking for is far, far away, somewhere that the desert dwellers are unable to access, but our heroes surely can. You shall go there, and you shall return to the desert. Doing so is the only way to shine the light of hope on the depths of our despair. So, it's somewhere else. We gotta go somewhere else. I'm fairly certain we need to go back to the place where that archaeological dig site is, and I can't remember where that is. We'll figure it out. Godeki, thank you for the host. Also, good morning. Good morning, good morning. You. The seal you're carrying will open the heart of any desert dweller. Try talking to the residents of that desert village and see what they have to say. And that's it. Where was that? Is it Emberdale? Is it Larka? Faraday Castle? Was it over that way? Was it near Wilted Heart? I don't think it was that far. Go to Larka. No. This doesn't seem to be it. What's up, sweetie? What? The paracord? It should be in my backpack. The black backpack upstairs in the bedroom, I think. Is it up further north? map. World map, world map, world map. Is it over near Emberdale? It might be near Emberdale. No, that's where Wilted Heart was. You know, there's something about this serpent everyone's talking about that's been preying on my mind. It's the golden horns. I'm sure I've heard of something like that somewhere before, but I just can't seem to put my fingers on where. Right? Like, I know what they're talking about, and I just don't know how to get there. I remember it was in a desert. It was an archaeological dig site. Ooh, Barracuda. I'm gonna say it every encounter. I'm sorry. Is this it? Holy crap, did I get that lucky? I did. Try as I might, I can't seem to shed any light on the provenance of the skull. Although I'm not sure why that surprises me. I've never known quite what any of the pots and vases I've dug up over the years were for certain. I've probably made some horrendous blunders with regards to some of them, but how would I even know if I had? If only I could have been alive at the time when the owner of these magnificent horns roamed the land. Everything would make sense then. Every pot, every vase, every strange, stupendous skull. I'd give anything to visit those times, anything at all. Oh, you're here to look at the skull, are you? Well, go ahead, but don't even think about touching it. Look at the size of it. It's enough to set anyone's mind racing. Can you imagine how big its body must have been? Why, 4 grown men could probably have ridden on its back. We found the remains of ancient fish and algae nearby, you know. My guess is that it must have been some kind of aquatic creature. And I'm no marine biologist, but we're talking river fish and algae here. I'd say this was a freshwater beast, not a sea creature. But let's not get bogged down in specifics, just look at the thing. It's glorious. Who knows how long those golden horns have been gleaming away? How many years? How many aeons? Surely such a mighty beast must have been worshipped as a god. It's my theory that it was probably the chief deity of the peoples of its native land. You agree, of course, don't you? I suppose talking to you wasn't a complete waste of time. You're telling me all this why exactly? Don't tell me you want my precious skull for some harebrained scheme or other, because you're not going to get it. I'm sorry, you think you might need to take it back to the past to solve a little problem there? Well, throwing time travel into the mix certainly isn't going to make your story more believable. Do you have any evidence to support these preposterous claims of yours? No, I didn't think so. Come on, own up. You're simply trying to trick me into giving you my prize so that you can sell it on for a profit, aren't you? You'll need to do a lot better than that to catch me out. Get out of my sight. But I have... You know, dude, you're being difficult. What is it now? Don't tell me you've brought some evidence to support your ludicrous claims. What's that you've got? What? My word, that pattern. It's just like the one on the fragment I found. Could this mean... This isn't a circular shape, and that's not any kind of dish either. Oh, that must be it. But if that's the case, then... This is groundbreaking. Epical. This could disprove all my theories. Or perhaps not. I do apologize. I must confess. I forgot you were there. Now tell me, where did you find this artifact? Well, there's no doubt that this is an ancient pattern. The tooling, however, seems to have been carried out very recently indeed. Could you really have traveled through time? It seems impossible, but it's the only explanation I can think of. No, I simply cannot bring myself to believe it. I doubt I would ever believe it unless I were to witness such a phenomenon with my own eyes. Of course, if you can really travel to the past, then why not prove it by taking me there? I'd happily let you have the skull for as long as you wanted in exchange for a glimpse of the ancient world. Wonderful. Now you'll just give me a moment. Hey, Ben, how are you doing? Good morning. There you go, all yours. Okay, so we have the skull of the serpent. I'm still not sure how this is going to help us. I'm just following the breadcrumbs right now. Dr. Digby joins the party. Ugh! That guy's still not moving. Who are you? You've already forgotten. How wonderful. Goodbye, Doc. All the best to you. Eh? It's the guy getting money from people to see the skull. With Dr. Digby in tow, the party head for the Shrine of Mysteries. When they arrive at the shrine, Dr. Digby is incredibly excited and starts exploring every nook and cranny like a giddy child. In fact, he's so transfixed by the shrine that it takes a long time to persuade him to leave. Eventually, however, the party make their way back into the past and into the darkness of the desert. Oh my! This must be the desert you were talking about. But how did we get here? Just a moment ago we were on an island surrounded by nothing but sea. But look at this soil structure. Deposits like this could only have been made in an era before our own, which must mean... we really are here. We're in the ancient world. By all that's holy. Now where are the ruins you told me about? You must take me there right away. My word, the original structure remains almost entirely intact. And these patterns, this period, it must have been... Whoa, what's this? Could this be? Oh, my word! This is wonderful, beyond wonderful. To see all this with my own eyes, it's... oh goodness, I'm rather overwhelmed. Doc, monsters everywhere. Come on, man, focus. Mutter mumble. This inscription, it suggests, yes, a festival. Which means... are you still here? I'm busy, you know. This is no time for chit-chat. If it's about the skull, you can keep it. You don't need to bring it back. It pales into insignificance when compared to all this. I guess we'll leave him here with the monsters. So we have the skull. Still don't know how that's going to help. God damn it. Ask the Elder if anything's changed. Okay. Oof, right on top of me. You know, thinking about the 3D world, I'm wondering, and the fact that, you know, monsters spawn just normally, I'm wondering if there's going to be anything in the 3DS version of DQ8 to differentiate the monsters that can be added to your monster team from just the regular spawning monsters. The hell's going on? I'm gonna save. I don't trust that at all. One of our village's brightest flames will soon be extinguished, but we will all one day die, I suppose. I will, you will, even the monsters will. This will never change. Sacred ones and watchers over of your servants here below, please, it is too soon for the Elder to join you in heaven. Oh, balls. Just as my mistress was just beginning to feel better, the Elder himself collapses in pain. Heaven alone knows what would become of us if the monsters decided to attack at this moment. If only Master Hadid was here. I pray now to all the heavens, please spare the Elder's life. Do not allow him to die at a time like this. Where is Master Hadid? And what could he be doing? Surely his father should be his priority at such a time. He has always been the type to dash off, of course, but at a time such as this, his place is here in the village. How can you say such a thing? Hadid is trying to find a way to help his father, to help everyone in the village. Once he locates the serpent, he will be able to save the queen and all our menfolk from the monsters, and he will return shortly. Of that I am certain, absolutely certain. The Elder has not been able to rise from his bed since he collapsed. He can barely open his eyes. Queen Fertiti still shows no sign of returning, and now this? We are cursed! How could he? How could he at a time like this? How could Hadid abandon his father in his moment of his greatest need? He is his only son! I fear that this is the end for my husband. He has not been able to open his eyes since his collapse. Yes, this is it. This is his time. Please, you must pay your final respects. This is what he would wish. If only Hadid were here to do also. By the sands! Hadid! Hadid, my boy, welcome home. But I fear your father, Well, do not just stand there. I had a strange sense that something was wrong. This is why I returned. Do you think it could have been? He could have been? Never mind, I thank you for coming to pay your respects. But do not expect a response. He breathes still, but his eyes no longer open. Khalid! Father! Hadid, dear Hadid, I am not much longer for this world. That much I fear is obvious. I am glad you have returned, and our guests from afar also. I thank you for coming. Father, please, you cannot leave us yet. The time is not right. I have yet to discover the location of the serpent. Queen Fertiti is still far from saved. If you are not here to ensure the safety of the village, I will be unable to continue my search. So you have yet to locate the serpent, I see. Wait, that's sparkling. Could it be? Please, the object you carry, show it to me, quickly. Surely not. Hadid, do you remember the tales of the serpent, the ones you enjoyed so as a boy? How the creature was always described with 2 great golden horns atop its head, yes? Can there be any other creature so endowed? Look at this skull, look at its horns. This can only mean one thing. The serpent has long since perished. Thank you. At least now we know for certain. It is little wonder you could not find the beast, Hadid. It no longer lives. Hadid, you must end your fruitless search and take your rightful place as Elder of Al-Balad. But Father, you must forget about the serpent. You must surely see that it is a lost cause. And while I understand your desperation to rescue the Queen, I fear that nothing can be done. We must focus instead on ensuring that we desert dwellers do not die out altogether. You must become Elder of Al-Balad, for this village requires your protection. You must take my place. You, must. I cannot, I refuse! You're not dying, Father. You cannot abandon your village, your people at a time such as this. You are our elder. You are Elder Khalid. Your work is not yet complete. No, it is not complete, which is why you must complete it, my son and heir. My wandering friends, I fear I must ask another favor of you. We desert dwellers traditionally send our elders into the next life by entrusting their remains to the loving embrace of Mother Nile. When my body is committed to the waters, I would ask that you also return the skull of the serpent to the river which gave it life. All life comes from the Nile, and it is to the Nile that I must return. Khalid, my apologies. I must ask that you leave. My father is dead. I must inform the people of the village. Thank you all for assembling here. It is my sad duty to inform you that our beloved village elder, my father Khalid, is no more. Tomorrow his body will be returned to the waters of the Nile as tradition dictates. In the meantime we shall return to our homes and make the necessary preparations. That is all I have to say for now. I will speak more in the morning. I need to take a break. Saigan and his friends spend a sleepless night at the elder's residence. Soft sobbing can be heard throughout the night, carried on the desert breeze. Then morning comes. It would appear that everyone is gathered. Very well. Let us set out for the banks of the Nile. Time for a short break. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll be back in like 5. I'm your host, Saigan. This is the Dragon Quest VII Let's Play. If you are enjoying it, please remember to hit like and subscribe. Those of you watching on YouTube, I will see you next time. Twitch, I'll be right back. What's up, Nico Couture?